passwords are hello Nano and hello Vivek. Thank you for hanging with me while I figure out what stream keys are off of Twitch and straight into YouTube. That transition is painful. Hello! If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Andrew. This is DataLIVE. We are talking about fun, complex concepts told through comedy, bringing data science down to earth, helping you with your career, or helping you understand just a little bit about what it's like to live in Silicon Valley. My name is Andrew. I don't know how to place my mic, but maybe just right here, and we'll just see how it goes. How doing? That's the first question. Nano Mano has just asked me how doing. I am doing super duper good. I have a sweater. I like wearing sweaters, but it's usually kind of hot in the South Bay. Muthu says, hi, Andrew. Hector says, good morning, Andrew. Good morning, you two. Thank you guys for jumping on. Today is going to be, I'm going to do a couple of things over here in case you wanted to see what it's like for me to write my first Medium article. But of course, the point of this stream is to thank you for coming along this entire way. We are currently just a hair shy of 1,000 subscribers, so I wanted to thank you. I wanted to tell a little bit about the journey, and you know, there's more things happening. So just to prove it, here's my first Medium article. I think I'm gonna make it about the Among Us video that I just put out. Nano Mano says, I would prefer a V-neck sweater. You know, it's true. We can't have it all. I could do some 5-minute crafts and turn this into a V-neck. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. That's the best way to get your question answered. If you don't have any questions, then I'm just going to be here on Medium. How big is my head? There we go. Rohit says, hello, Andrew. Hello, Rohit. Oops, at hello. Just the sweater itself. But where's the body? Okay, what is this? Among Us. Oops. Ooh. Title. What does add mean? Add image. Oh. Among Us 999 IQ tactic to win with math, featuring Monty Hall and $1 million. Ravi says, here comes his favorite YouTuber. Ravi, you can't be this kind. It's so nice of you to say. Rohit says, I like your videos. Your data science interviews are the best. Looking forward to your more interview videos. Now, Rohit, do you mean interviews where I do live cracking the data science, like actual questions? Or do you mean interviews where I do with data scientists? Because that's an important distinction. Nano Mano says, is data science still a new profession? No. Data science is not a new profession. It was a while ago called business intelligence, just using different languages, you know, older languages that I could not even begin to wrap my head around, but it has become more accessible is the answer. So therefore, it is newer in the sense that it allows more people to grab hold of it and try it out, you know. Boris says, so hold on, let me just say, nope, but it's more accessible. Boris says, awesome how quickly your channel grew. Thank you. Let's recount the growth. So I just checked on Google when I started the YouTube channel. So that was 91 days ago yesterday. So 92 days today. That's 3 months. So within 3 months, we have gone almost 1,000 subscribers. So that's really exciting. But that growth took 2 months to get to 100. And then this last month was just the rest of the 900. And it's all thanks. You want to hear the secret? Here, let me make my face bigger. It's all thanks. It's all thanks to Data Professor Kenji and all these amazing people who are jumping on the channel, talking to me, you know, making me feel like I'm not alone in the world, and just supporting the channel through, you know, recommendation systems, through like helping people who are interested in the same stuff find this channel. It's discovery. That's why it's so important. If you are just joining us, please ask me a question in the live chat, because wow, 18 people. Can you imagine if I Twitch stream with this much? If you like seeing me live and you want to see me live more often, please follow me on Twitch. It's DataLIVE Tech. Ravi says, when are mock interviews coming up? Ravi, don't spoil it. We will have a whole mock interview series soon. Okay, so Rohit says both interviews, but mostly cracking. Okay, Rohit, we can totally crack one today. Does anyone want to volunteer? Now, okay, I'm just gonna answer this question. Serby says, do you think business intelligence engineers are at the end of their game if they don't switch to DS? No. And good question. Question good. Good question. The business intelligence engineers are kind of the same as consultants in a way, right? Because they are probably working on an ad hoc basis. They don't have the ability to scale a lot of their code or change a lot of their processes to make it a little more efficient. So therefore, it is, I'm not writing this Medium article apparently. So apparently it is going to be pretty obvious when it comes to, if there's a niche, someone's going to fill it. So a business intelligence consultant or business intelligence engineer is going to be someone who obviously fills a niche, someone who gets paid possibly slightly less than a data scientist, but can do more limited tasks. You know, they're probably working on Excel and they're probably working on QuickBooks or something that is akin to an accountant. So that's the trend that that market is having. And I don't think that's going away anytime soon. People need consultants. So to answer your question, people need professional services always. Muhammad Faizan says, can you please tell me Can you please tell me that have you uploaded any video on pathway to data science for newbies or any one that transforming from biological science to data science? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I have so many videos on that. I have 4 whole videos. You know, let me just find them. So for data science for newbies, here is the best 10 minutes that you've ever spent. Data science for newbies. And then transitioning from biological science is one of the ones I just put up with an actual subscriber community member, Rhea from Greece. So DS transition from bio. And then let's see. And then this is a whole biological professor who is running an amazing YouTube channel. So Data Professor's Bio Journey. Great question, Mohammed. Okay, I'm so close to answering all your questions. One sec. Nanomano says, I am studying statistics and computer science in college. Great choices. I'll be data scientist for sure, but I am really nervous if I can't get a job after I graduate. Nanomano, that is a fair fear. The market is all about positioning yourself, and I'm about to come out with a whole video about what it means to statistically play the job market at the moment with helpful data from Jeff. Jeff, I don't know his last name, but Jeff is a data scientist who got 7 job offers during the pandemic, and he tells us how he was able to game it. Essentially, it comes down to how well you can position yourself, and there are a couple of tactics to get an interview that isn't just crossing your fingers, dropping a resume, and praying. Great question. Did I get you all? Good. Muhammad says, do you teach data science online? Muhammad, I am trying. So DataLIVE on YouTube is where I teach it DS for free. Hey Prajwal, you're not late. What's up, OJ? Kevin, you love DataLIVE? That means a lot. DataLIVE on YouTube is where I teach DS online. I want to get into Nebula and what is it called? Skillshare. And maybe Udemy and follow in Ken's footsteps. I'm eventually gonna have to not be able to type this because I'm not as fast at typing. So yes, Mohammed, I'm trying to teach data science online, hopefully for money one day. But for now, it's free. Kevin, thank you for joining. We love you. You're the real hero. OJ says, how do you deal with feeling inadequate? Powerful question. How do you feel like you're being inadequate? I'm moving from a completely unrelated field. Also, we spoke on Discord once. Awesome. So the answer to the imposter syndrome is has been answered on YouTube, so I don't want to feel like a broken record. But the answer to that question is, nobody really knows what the darn heck they're doing. Is something that really helps me remember my place in the world, right? You see that people are really specialized in maybe like running aircrafts or surgery or doing surgery on you or fixing the government, for example. You see that everyone's specialized, and then you suddenly imagine that you have worlds away of knowledge that you don't have. That's kind of the same idea of the more knowledge you get once you go to grad school and you're post-grad, you start to realize that you actually knew a lot less than you thought you did in high school or in middle school. You're not an imposter, right? You are transitioning from a field that you believe you can transition from into data science. And I truly believe that there is almost no field that a person can't become a data science out of, right? There are barriers. There are true transition blockers in the market, right? When the market is bad, when the jobs aren't very plentiful, it's getting harder to break into the space, right? But that's why you need to start being able to tell your story in a way that focuses on the projects and the skills that you have acquired versus the ways that you are similar to other candidates, right? You have to break out and tell a narrative. That's why the 21 days of data science helps a lot in the very beginning to build your skills, and then the 8 weeks that I create as a mentor helps with the rest. Now, if you want to have a 15-minute session with me, actually now they're whole 30-minute sessions. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, use this. I'm not gonna regret that, I think. Okay. Great question. Prajwal, my man. Thanks for joining. Nanomano says, is it hard to get a job on data science, and after 3 years will it be harder to get? Plan for automation is what I would say. The reason why data analysts are going to stay in the market, the reason why business intelligence consultants are going to stay in the market is because their jobs are harder to automate somehow, if you can imagine me for a second. Implementing models, understanding how they work, and then using human-in-the-loop technology is actually pretty close to being automated. You know, GPT-3 is something that scares a lot of us, but at the same time, if you can be the person that implements, that manages, and that is on top of the GPT-3 like automation, you're the person that is one level of abstraction above that, you're a data scientist that is definitely going to be hired. So focus on skills that that keep you one step ahead of the market. Jayant says, Jayant Kashyap, hello, well, love from India and great content. Jayant, thank you so much. Shiva says, hello, I set a goal that by the end of January 2021, I must get a job in data science. Shiva, I want to hear your story. See, he's already, Shiva, you are telling your story. Please drop some time on my Calendly. OJ says, how are you doing? Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. That means a lot. I'm doing okay. You know, I'm writing this ominous Medium article right now. I thought it was gonna be a lot quieter, so I have a bunch of comments ready too, just in case we wanted to talk about comments. Go. Oh, it's over here. Oop. No? Yes, it's over here. Preview. But yes, I'm busy with these questions on the live chat. So if you are just joining, welcome. My name is Andrew. I'm a data scientist here in Silicon Valley. I also create free education on DataLIVE on YouTube. So I will answer any question right now. OJ also says, be a broken record, mate. We're here to listen to you. OJ, you are so kind. Mohammed says, can you put your GitHub link here? I don't think so. I answered the question at least. I don't think I will for some privacy issues, but also most of my code that I work on is proprietary or academic. That's the kind of data scientist I am. I'm a mechanical engineering student, says Shiva, and I started learning data science recently. I'm doing IBM Data Science Professional Certificate in Coursera. Can I get a job with that professional certificate? Shiva, yes, you can. Yes, you can, but it's all about positioning. So, positioning, can I spell? So I went through an entire video where I talked about a man on Quora who does not believe that MOOCs or online courses are the right way to go, and you can only get a data science job with an accredited 4-year university degree. I don't agree. A lot of people ask me, do you need a master's? Do you need a postdoc? You don't. I don't think so. Kenji and I are of the camp that you can really get a job in this field with a fluid understanding of how it is that the market wants this kind of labor. Like I said in a couple of my videos, how much data scientists are worth. The market is actually still starved for data scientists. So set a goal. If you want to be a data scientist by January 2021, make sure that you are working every day, grinding on lead code, working on your personal projects, making sure that you are getting ready, because the market won't stop. Neither should you. Okay, I don't want to fall behind. OJ says, I watched your video on pandas versus SQL. I still don't get why we should learn SQL if we're learning pandas. OJ, great question about SQL. SQL is, say it with me now, an industry standard. Industry standard that all data engineers, at least, right, have to use. The reason why is because places that serve data, right? Snowflake, Teradata, MongoDB, why can't I think of any other? Redshift, the whole AWS thing, right? You are talking about terabytes, petabytes, even greater bytes of data. So you have to be able to use SQL to communicate with that database. So data engineers have to know it. You have to know it because eventually you're going to have to do ad hoc queries that a data engineer sets up a small table for you, and then you have to then query that table. And if you don't know SQL, even the most advanced data scientists sometimes have to kind of like take out the wrench and grind away at a larger database. So yes, you do need to know SQL. Could you guide me on how to plan my learning path? Shiva, yes, I can. Hop on Calendly. We'll get your whole story up on DataLIVE. Muhammad says, I confirm meeting with you on the link you mentioned. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon. Rajbal says, I'm coming to the US next fall for my data science MS. Congrats. How hard is it to get a data scientist intern position, Prajwal? That's tricky. That's tricky because data scientists are kind of very specialized, and internships are usually a chance to learn, and so you'll be doing a lot of learning without being able to pull a lot of weight. Whew. In that sense, right, data science internships are totally out there. I think Tina Huang can speak a little bit about it. I know Joma from Joma Tech has been able to speak about that. They exist, right? But FANG companies actually kind of shy away from that idea nowadays because an engineer can do plenty of work. They can build. Anyone that can code can build applications, but data scientists have to have statistical rigor and understand industry and product landscapes. So that comes with a bit of greater ask, at least a little more stigma when it comes to internships. So I will do a whole video on internships if you comment down below. In fact, all of you, all 20 of you watching right now, wow, that's a lot of people. Follow my Twitch, all right? I'm DataLIVE Tech on Twitch, and Twitch is a fun place to watch me play video games and do non-data science stuff, but I will still be live streaming every week, so subscribe. Please subscribe, please drop a comment, and please like. My name is Andrew. I'm a data scientist here in Silicon Valley, and I'm talking to you right before my stand-up. So that's how I spend my time in the mornings. Don't you want to be a data scientist? Thanks to that fact. Giant says, is it important to know web scraping? Giant. I'm butchering your name. No. No. Most data scientists work in silos, so you are almost never going to have to aggregate your own data. Mostly, right? Smaller companies and places with scrappier data infrastructures will probably need you to scrape your own data from time to time. But web scraping is not in a data scientist portfolio very much. So I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Whoopsie. Move myself a little bigger. But knowing how to web scrape with Selenium and Beautiful Soup is a good way to then have a great project under your belt that says you connected real data, not just a toy data set from Kaggle, end to end. And I think that really puts you at a higher point of marketability and employability than others. OJ says, industry standard, that's helpful. I'll add it to my learning path. Please do. I really recommend it. Daedalus Dream Journal says, hey there. Ooh, hey. Hey. It's time to answer your question, Daedalus. Time to answer your question. So over on Discord, Daedalus asked a great question about whether or not there's a channel that we can put just a bunch of interview prep on it, right? So my channel has some, but you have to, you have to navigate to a playlist to be able to find it. Let's look at my channel. So hopefully my head's not too big. So over on my channel, if you look at the home, and then you go down and you look at Cracking Data Science Live, I have 6 whole episodes, 30 to 40 minutes each, of real technical interview questions that you can crack right here. I work with an actual person from the Discord community from 66 Days of Data, so it's a good place to go. If you want to see me with actual editing solve a technical interview by myself, there's 3 right here, one from Google, one from Facebook, and one from Amazon. But to answer your question for real, not for play, whether or not we can have an actual channel that focuses on technical interviews, I think so. I think Ken is in the midst of creating a second channel for interviews of the different kind, of like actual people that he interviews. I think that a channel that only has interviews, technical interviews, wouldn't fare very well in the YouTube algorithm. That's why probably all of us are shying away from it. So you can blame capitalism for that. But Daedalus, hopefully some of my materials help. And if you like to see more of it, comment on each of those videos. And I have to. You have democratically made me create more of those videos. OJ says, will you play God of War 2 when it comes out? You mean, oh my gosh. I didn't know that was coming out. Why am I so old? Why am I old? I didn't know about God of War 2. Yes, I will. I still have to play Last of Us 2. Kenzie Nguyen says, Kenzie, thanks for joining. Kenzie Nguyen says, Python, Java, Pandas, basic visualization, plus basic stats, plus data structures. How would I translate that into projects and further learning? A video or videos on projected based learning? Kenzie, great question. The answer to that is Python, Java. I don't learn Java. I don't know any data scientist that works in Java. JavaScript might be helpful for building visualizations, custom visualizations, and working in Node.js might actually help build some applications, but I don't think Java would help very much. Pandas basic visualization, that's a project. Basic stats, that's a project that involves significance, so maybe an A/B test. And then data structures, that's a project that involves you setting up your own SQLite server. So I'm not going to type that all out, but Kenzie, your question answered. Chirag, thanks for joining. What other part-time skills we should learn? Chirag, the answer is part-time skills. These are full-time data science toolkit skills. I would say learn a little bit about transformers and BERT. So Google has come out with some pretty great prepackaged natural language processing technology. I would say that would be really key and a fun thing to be able to say that you understand in your back pocket when it comes to interviews. It's just something interesting for you. Ravi says, let's get DataLIVE to 1,000 subs. Yes, Ravi, go. Thank you. Kenzie says, have you checked? OJ says, Kenzie, have you checked Kaggle sets? Kaggle sets are toy data sets. They're very, very nice to work with, and they're helpful when you try it first. Ravi says, I think that's Mike West. Mike West. Did I miss someone? Michael West? Kenzie says, OJ, I signed up for Kaggle yesterday, but I'm still not sure how to get any value of this site. Tips? Interesting, says Daedalus. Brajwal says, most of the data science positions in the US require a minimum of 2 years of data analysis experience. How can I get that experience? Brajwal. 2 ways to get that experience. 1, I believe I'm taking a page from Joshua Fluke. Joshua Fluke says, write the job title of the job you performed on your resume, not the one they gave you. If you have been doing real data analytics work, and if you wanted to check what that looks like, go to Glassdoor, go to Blind, go to YouTube, and see what a data analyst actually does. If you are an accountant and you've been actually just doing data analytics your whole darn career, that's a perfect place to say, I was a data analyst at this firm, right? If it would be best to check that with the people who work at that firm to make sure that they agree with your story, but it doesn't hurt, 2, sorry, I'm still answering Prajbal's answer about how to get data analytics experience. Data analysts don't have a direct path to data science. You know how when you grind and then your manager gives you a senior position and then gives you a manager position and then gives you a director position, right? There's no actual path. You're not digivolving into a data scientist. A data analyst isn't a foot in the door. It's actually a dead end. In my opinion, because it makes it so much harder to learn actual data science skills. You'll be working in Excel and PowerPoint and meetings nonstop, and then you won't even have the chance to learn like machine learning, model deployment, talking on a sprint schedule with other engineers. You're probably going to be in a business schedule, like quarterly, like revenue-driven schedule. So my guess is that that's not the right way to go, but it's really up to the kind of industry you're looking at. There totally could be industries that want analyst experience for science positions. Daedalus says, I will check those videos and comment on them then. Yes, thank you. Everyone, comment. Comment to your heart's desire, because that helps the YouTube algorithm, and that's why it's free. Kevin says, bro, Cyberpunk 2077 looks so cool. Play that. Cyberpunk? I only know Jazz Punk is my game of choice. At Kevin. Low-key relevant for those who live in California and work in tech. Possibly. I don't know anything about it. But thank you for commenting. Kenzie says, check the tutorials, then submit competitions. It's a great way to start projects. I totally agree. DataLIVE says, that being said, my questions was about having a channel not just for experts like you, but to answer them, but simply for everyone in the community to ask and answer questions. Totally fair. Totally fair. Didn't see that was part of your question. Once I hit 1,000 subs, I will make a community post every week where you can ask questions. So if you aren't familiar, community posts can only be written by people who have 1,000 subscribers and more. And right now, what do I have? Let's go over here. This is my channel. A little cute picture of my dog. Ask comment whether or not you like this new persona, or do you want the jumping picture to go back? I still have 50 more to go. Frankson, hello, welcome. How early should we begin specializing? I feel like my degree program trained me to be a jack of all trades but master of none. Projects all over the place. Soon. Specialize soon. So I would say I am firmly in the fintech space, but I specialize in natural language processing and outlier detection. So those are pretty all over the place still, but at the same time, it allows me to have enough of a wide array of areas that I can offer value that people want to find me. And once you specialize, people will come to you no matter what, because then they know you are an expert of something. You must be an expert of other things too. So specialize soon. But your jack of all trades degree is definitely helping you decide in that case. So there's the trade-off there. Brajwal, oh my gosh, so many. Nano Mano says, what is the hardest part you face while learning data science? Nano, you're so good at asking questions. These questions are so good. What's the hardest part? I don't know. This is a hard question to answer. I will make a video about this. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. Prajwal says, also apply regardless, you haven't much to lose. True. But remember, once you apply, that is your file. Once you apply, that is your shot. A la Lin-Manuel. Because companies will keep your file on record. So always try your best. Of course, companies like Facebook and Google and other large FANG companies will allow you to try multiple times, right? So that's helpful, at least. But of course, they will allow you to try after a given year. As the last time I checked, that policy is that once you somehow do not get selected along the career process, you will have to wait a whole year to come back. Pooja says, hi, I just joined. Welcome, Pooja. I only want to say you're doing a great job and I love your style of talking. Keep making videos. I'm looking forward to it. Pooja, you've already commented before and you are such a wonderful person. You are so great. Thanks for joining. It means a lot for you to be part of the community. Come on the show. Come on the show. Come on and slam. Okay, so Jayan says, as a fresher, I could apply for junior data scientist or data scientist. As of now, I don't have any working experience. That's tough. You want some internship experience, or some. So, that's the wrong person. Jayant. Try a position of any kind. In the pandemic, you might have to work for peanuts. But an unpaid internship is still an internship that you can then boldly become a real position where you get an actual job. So the value to you is immense. Jay says, how about going from business intelligence to data science? Same as a data analyst. Jay, yes, that is a great question. That is tough, right? Business intelligence, in my eyes, I'm not an expert, but they are mainly business consultants, right? Management consultants, people who really know their way around an Excel sheet, and they understand how that data can come in specific forms, right? So they might have some familiarity with time series. They might have some familiarity with, a product landscape. They might just be really, really well attuned with how data is represented, but they don't know exactly how to manipulate it, like with SQL and Python. So I would say the first step, my 21 days data science Bible, head on over there, and that is your first 21 days to learn SQL and to learn Python pandas visualization, which is what you need to start transitioning from the business intelligence space. So try my $0 data science Bible. Jay, cool. Junior, Jay says it's still, well, hold on. Shiva says scheduled a meeting on 5th of October. Really, really excited. I'm excited to talk to you. Jay Sandu says it's dope. It's true. OJ says, Giant Junior, what do you have to lose? Very little. Anthony says, keep just the corgi. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so behind. Meatball, come here. Nope. He's in my roommate's room. I'll have him come out at the end of the show. That's a reason to stay, right? DataLIVE says, by the way, do you have any recommendations for computer vision and NLP, books, videos, online courses, etc.? Yes, I do. Try Andrew Ung. Andrew Ung got me through grad school. Very helpful guy. Frankson says, thanks, I appreciate the advice. I appreciate you, Frankson. Thank you for dropping by. Muthu says, which is better, a startup or a big company? Muthu, these are the questions. Yes, good question. Muthu, the answer is, it depends. Big company will one, keep you working. Two, I can't shift enter, so I have to just do this apparently. One, will keep you working. Two, will silo you in a hard to see space in the product. And then three, but startups will have, I can't shift enter, but startups will have instability in work-life balance. And then two, more freedom, but more ad hoc, right? So startups are a great way to prove your worth, especially, so both are great examples of the fact that you were able to work in different environments. So I would say neither are worse than the other strictly. Startups are the ability to then say you had the ability to talk to senior management, but larger companies are a way to say I have basically an Ivy brand on my resume, right? I can work for Facebook, I can work for Google. I should be able to handle whatever comes my way for future offers. So I would say if you can get a big job as your first career job, you would be set. That's a good place to start. If you want to know how to brand your previous jobs, I have a collaboration with Data Professor that talks about my favorite resume that I created. And if you want that resume, I am still giving them out. I've already given out 200, but you know what? I'll give out 200 more just for the 1,000 subscriber celebration. How to Data Professor job. Okay. What am I doing? Nanomano says, oh, sorry, wait, let's keep going. DataLIVE says, internship is work experience in general, always valuable since it shows you can work in an IRL company. Yes, so true. Nanomano says, do you prefer office to home office? Nano, I prefer pool. No. The home office is great. I get to drink tea by walking 5 steps. And it's good tea too. My back hurts, as you can tell from one of my other videos. But I would say this: if the office is close by, I would prefer the office because that kind of separates my work-life balance. But I've gotten so good at work-life balance, I don't mind the home office. Good question. My brain is starting to get fried. Anthony says, what are some solid NLP projects applications to pursue? Sentiment. Sentiment is what everybody likes. Sentiment. Bias. So especially with the election coming up, looking at how sentiment and bias exists in the NLP space is really interesting. News articles, right? You can grade entire websites, news websites, about whether or not they have a specific skew to the left or right, conservative or liberal. You can have just general sentiment, which is always going to be helpful at every company, right? Big wigs are always wondering, hey, are the comments on my YouTube channel or the comments on my app in the Google Play Store positive or negative? So sentiment is always going to be helpful no matter what. Anthony says, good question. I would like that as well. Same for computer vision. Yes. Soapy Pop says, he's keeping me company. Yes, but at what cost? OJ says, I'm going to head out. I'm going to sign up for a 30-minute chat later in October. Take it easy, mate. Thank you, OJ. Thanks, OJ. Oh, I said thanks. OJ, you're the man. Unless some of you aren't men. So I'm sorry if I'm saying you're the man. Hehe, thanks for the answer, Daedalus says. Yeah, you're welcome. Loriana says, Loriana, welcome. Have you ever been asked to do a mock presentation when you interviewed at Fang or any other company? If so, could you do a video on how to communicate your work to those who aren't technical? Loriana, this is such an important skill to have. Oh, I wish I've been writing these script ideas out because I need to make them. So how to communicate in interview presentation. And then what was the other thing? Hardest part of data science learning for me. Okay, so to answer your question, Loriano, is that in order to give a presentation to a non-technical audience, you actually have to talk in a lot of analogies, but the analogies have to be very, very concise and clear, right? So one of the ways that I explain minimum distance estimation, right? That's a concept in A/B testing where you're trying to find out statistically significant results. Is I say, it's kind of like the $5 footlong fiasco, where the world was thinking that the $5 footlong was actually smaller than a foot. They were paying $5 for a Subway sandwich that was way less than a foot, but how do you statistically prove it? Well, you could go to a Subway sandwich place and then measure 2 footlongs. And if they are, if one is like 2 inches and one is like 4 inches, then you're like, this is definitely half an inch off, or like half a foot off, right? This is definitely a large distance away from a foot long, which is our null hypothesis. So this is already enough for me to start supporting the alternative hypothesis. But that wouldn't play if you were looking for a small estimation of distance. If you wanted to see if they were just off by 0.2 inches, you have to then go to so many different Subway sandwiches, and you have to then measure a ton of different sandwiches. So the smaller the distance, the smaller the error that you're trying to measure, the more people you have to sample. There you go. So that was a complex statistical concept explained with Subway sandwiches. That's one of the ways that you have to start thinking about communication. Hopefully that didn't confuse you. Nanomano says, what don't you like about data science? I don't like data science. I love data science. I don't like data science when it comes to the relationship data scientists have with engineers, right? Oftentimes we aren't seen so much as partners, but as as people to either report to or report in. So they have an issue and they say, hey, we're trying to investigate it, and it's time for you to pick up the mop and try to clean up the mess, right? That doesn't happen very often. It certainly doesn't happen at my workspace. Wink. It really doesn't. It doesn't happen in my workplace because it's a healthier environment, but I do see it sometimes in data science and engineering relationships, right? It should be a partnership. An engineer should never say, data scientists, we're doing everything good, aye, captain, right? But they also should never say, we have an issue, we want you to take care of it. So this is mostly if there's an investigation to be had, a data scientist queries in an engineering team and says, we want to work together on this, and then they work together on it, right? Like a partnership. Rajwal says, sharing your channel in a couple of university WhatsApp groups. Oh, yay! Thank you. You are so kind to me. Oh, thank you, Prajwal. That really means a lot. Major says, do we need to get masters or PhD to get big companies? Oops. Great question. No, you shouldn't. Data Science Jay was able to get a data science job right out of his bachelor's. A master's really does help, right? I often see Google and Facebook and other companies that have must have master's or higher education, right? So for those specific types of situations, you might need it. That said, plenty of large organizations are just starting to enter the data science space and open up their doors, right? Maybe large corporations like consulting groups or professional services groups or like the Walmarts of the group are finally starting to open up their data science doors and realizing that's a great space to enter. So if you want to enter a big company like that, that's a way to do it. Measure. You can do it. Datalist says, I find a good way to learn to communicate with non-ML experts is to explain what you do to your friends, family, loved ones, etc. So true. That's great practice. And also to read scientific articles that vulgarize complex concepts for the masses to understand. It gives you a baseline to get inspiration from to do the same yourself. So true. Great suggestions. All right, how much time has it been? It's been 50 minutes. Ooh, Muthu says, which is better, Mac or Windows? They're both great, but I prefer Mac. Hashtag not sponsored. But Tim, please sponsor me. Nanomano says, what are you going to do after years? Going to work as a data science again or something different? Good question. In years, I want to be retired like Kenji. Kenji does live in Hawaii, so that's fun. That's why he's wearing the Hawaiian shirts all the time. But no, he's not retired. I do want to be a full-time YouTuber. Oh my God! Have you been here this whole time? Oh, that's like a jump scare. Kenji is like Beetlejuice. Wow. Cool. Oh my God, that scared me. Thank you for joining, Ken. So yeah, I would love to be a full-time educator. Data science education is a big thing that I enjoy. I also love entertaining, so that's why I like comedy. That's why you might see some parodies and skits on my channel. But you notice that it's not all math, it's not all video games, it's not all parodies and skits. It's not all education, right? I'm trying to find my space at the moment, and if that involves creating 2 YouTube channels, then I totally want your support when I start the second one. The chat rate is going up. Jayan says, I know machine learning, deep learning, pandas, data visualization. What should I do next? Do a project. Scrape your own data and apply a regression classification model on it. I'm starting to be so tired. Prajwal says vacation in Hawaii, so true. Kenji says definitely not retired yet, but we know what's really up here. DataLIVE says, haha, do it, all edition in Vim. Yannick is here. Yannick, hello. Thanks for joining. I know it's late for some of you. It's late in India for sure, and it's late in the East Coast too. So if you want a different time for me to do these live streams, hit me up. 20 people consistently is a pretty good number though. Good enough for a Twitch streamer. If you want to follow me on the other social medias, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, you can do that. But mostly I want you to subscribe if you haven't yet. Oh boy. Frankston says, lol. Kenji says, I just got here 10 minutes ago. Thank you for joining. Amen, says Prajwal. Oh man. DataLIVE says, do the same at Halloween. Oh gosh, if Kenji can surprise me on Halloween, that would be my dream. If Kenji jump scares me on Halloween, that would be my dream. Kenji says, lol, also created a coding question server in the server. Awesome. Nanomano says, by the way, it's really good to see data science community really helps each other, in my opinion. Me too. Very wholesome, truly. Boy, oh boy. So, again, my name is Andrew. I am a data science YouTuber, educator, mentor, coach, and data scientist here in Silicon Valley. We are about to read some comments if we don't have any more questions, but of course we are also about to wrap up. So this is your last chance. 5 more minutes of questions. Good time in EST right after lunch. Oh, true. Right after the digestion. Let's see. Here are some comments. I save comments now because that really helps, makes me happy. Nanomano says, how much do I make? I did say I was going to answer any question, so I make 6 figures. Visam136 says, what would you recommend for a data science thesis? Thank you so much for the content. Visam, thank you for joining. Now, if you want to know how much I make, I will tell you personally. Visam, thank you for joining. I would say something that excites you, but right now we have the election ongoing with lots of sentiment and biased data to parse. Okay, Jayan says, thanks, we'll start learning web scraping. Yay, do it. Harry says, did you get imposter syndrome when you started working towards becoming a data scientist? How did you deal with it? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Harry, and let me tell you what I did to deal with it. So the way I had to deal with imposter syndrome was breadth. I was so focused on very specific parts of the data science world that I had a harder time like believing in myself that I would be able to answer like larger breadth questions, the questions that are having like a wider array of product landscape questions and statistical questions and machine learning questions. I had a very hard time believing that I would be able to answer any question. So I poured my heart into a bunch of different books. You know, I still don't think I have it all in my head, but it is a great question to ask yourself, like how much depth do you want in each category and how much breadth do you want? So the question is being T-shaped, right? Actually, it's more like an upside down T, but it's like having a lot of breadth, but also making sure that you have enough depth to become an expert in something specific. That helps a lot with the imposter syndrome. Thank you, Harry. Daedalus says, do you do coding on your channel? as in showing how you work in videos. Check out my day in the life video. I am actually about to do another day in the life video because 1, the algorithm likes them, and 2, I have a better camera, and 3, I think I have a different lifestyle after 3 months of working on a YouTube channel. So there's that. Raja says, "Hey Andrew, I love the way of teaching. Very energetic." I could say thank you. I could say thank you. Kind of want to save these comments. Well, yeah, I don't want to have to go all the way back and here. How about just save it? There we go. Okay. And now it's in this folder of comments. Two Bros says, "Not sure if you tried it before, but have you considered a Kahoot during live chats? Your audience can compete on how to solve interview questions." I don't know what Kahoot is. I don't know. Flipgrid, Kahoot, a Periscope, IG Reels, Young People Talk. I don't know what Kahoot is, but I definitely can consider it now that I know it exists. Harry says, "I also love your teaching style." Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Harry. Means a lot. Nano says, "What would you suggest to me to learn as a data science student?" Learn what the interviewer expects from you. The interviewer is just a human on the other side, right? They're not a robot. So they're actually just trying to check a couple boxes and then go home and then have a beer and Netflix or whatever, right? So they actually are just looking for signals. And if you can, my words, they're starting to fly away. If you can emulate those signals to an interviewer, you will be in great shape. Kenji says, "I don't think imposter syndrome ever goes away." Ken is sus. Imposter joke. Play Among Us with me, Ken. DataLIVE says, "Focusing on some areas can be good. However, doing other stuff can teach you lessons, the kind that you can apply to your specialty that is not limited to ML. Other stuff can teach you stuff to help with ML and vice versa." DataLIVE, you are writing novels. I want you to comment novels. I want you to comment these well-articulated ideas in every video. Franklin says, "Lol at Among Us." Among Us is fun. It's a good way to pass the time in the pandemic. If you want to play Among Us with me, play Among Us with me. It's called Twitch. Do I even want to be a Twitch streamer? These are the questions for me. Ravi says, "I'm not in 66 Days of Data." Let's fix that right now. So those of you who are watching, you get an exclusive invite to the 66 Days of Data YouTube channel. Ooh, hidden. Use copy button. Oh, they hit it. There you go. All right, Ravi. Who's that? Oh my God, we have even more viewers now. Well, I guess I have 15 more minutes before my stand-up, so I guess I can keep going. Nano says, "Do you close ad blocker while you watch Kenji's videos?" That tickles me. Why is Nano so good at asking questions? I am tickled. Oh man. I am tickled. I do not close ad blocker. No. Oh no. I do close ad blocker. I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't close ad blocker, but I will from now on, now that I realize that I could. I do want Kenji to get his AdSense, and data science CPM is probably already bad enough as it is. If you want to know how YouTubers make money, that would be a fun video. Let's put that in the scripts. How YouTubers make money. Do you think we make money? Drop a comment down below. Hector says, "Yeah, Among Us is so good." Hector, you're so right. Nano says, "No, but I will from now on." Meatball's here. Meatball, come here. Meatball. Yeah. Good boy. Meatball. Okay, Meatball will answer the last 15 minutes of questions with me. And that got a bunch more concurrent viewers. If you are just joining us for the first time, my name is Andrew. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because you are not going to want to miss out on keeping up and staying up to date with the best data stuff education out there. If you want to be a data scientist, if you want to just watch me have fun and do math, that's a good way to pass the time in the pandemic and makes you smarter. Hit the bell button too. I want that to happen. It would make me happy. Shiva says, could you please provide link to download the resume template, please? You're going to have to go to the $0 Data Science Bible to find out how. But it is on the home link over here. So if you go over here and then you press this little link of me jumping, that's how you get the resume template. Nanomano says, haha, I won't be offended if you keep it on. Ken, please. We want you to earn that money. So close to finishing up. If you are just joining us, I'm doing an AMA to try to get 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost there. How many do I have now? Thanks to Prodball. It was 950 before, and now it's 953. Nice. It's 3 whole people. But yeah, I am a slowly developing small creator of data science, free education, and it's a fun space. I started 90 days ago. I am already almost up to 1,000. It took 2 months to get to 100. After getting 100, I doubled every week thanks to some creator friends. So 100 to 200, 200 to 400, 400 to 800, and now I'm not doubling this week. So I'm still 50 away from getting to 1,000. Stream till you get to 1,000, like Nick White did. Nick White streamed for 12 hours. Seriously, how did he do that though? Nano says, thanks for answering all my questions. Keep up the good work. Nano, you are so good at asking questions. Questoins. Thanks for coming. Drop a comment and like this video, guys. If you are on right now, I wish I said this earlier, but I do want you to like this video. Rohit says, hi, I want to add data science ML as a second source of revenue, so I need to know how to become a freelancer in data science and ML. Rohit. Oops, that's the wrong Rohit. Rohit Naya. Nope. Come on, give me the right Rohit. This one. It's like it doesn't want me to get the right Rohit. Okay. There we go. Good question. I don't know. I'm not a data science freelancer, but I would say Upwork, Fiverr, TaskRabbit, Craigslist. There we go. I think I answered that question. I'm not sure, but freelance data science is difficult because you are now working with stakeholders who don't want to shell out for a real data scientist, and so they're going to have a very weird, like, skewed understanding of what you can do, and then they're going to be disappointed, and you're going to be disappointed, at least until you find the right clientele, right? But in the beginning, it's going to be very easy for you to find bad clients to work for. Whoa, that was weird. Delis says, all right, gotta go. More stuff to learn. Take care, everyone. Delis, thank you for coming. Kenji says, I actually have a video with Sanyam coming up in a few weeks where he goes into how he got freelance data science projects in college. Sanyam is super cool, and Ken is nice. Ken is so nice. I never would have realized that dropping a comment on Ken's YouTube video would have him respond in like matter of minutes, which is what will happen if you comment on one of my videos. Now I'm taking on Ken's footsteps, and I am responding quickly to any kind of YouTube comment. In fact, that's the fastest way to reach out to me. Oh, Nanomeno says, by the way, I really like the day in the life as data scientist videos. Thanks, Nano. I think that one's really interesting because like you probably didn't expect that I live like that, right? If you're curious, you should check it out. I do live in a weird way, with a very weird dog. Sorry, someone's on camera right now. We're in the pandemic. We had to do social distancing. Harry says, yeah, I found out about you through Ken. Harry, that's awesome. Mike West is one who writes on Quora regarding ML and data science. I don't think that's that Mike. I think his name is Mike Lee. Ken says, haha, you must have gotten lucky. I go through my comments when I wake up and before I go to bed. Ken, I count my lucky stars every day that I got so lucky. Check out Kenji's channel. He was kind enough to come into my live chat and talk to me, and you know, I never get to talk to my father. I never get to talk to Ken as much as I liked. So don't let Meatball hear you say that. Meatball, I would never say something that would upset you. If you look over my right shoulder, that is Meatball the dog as a painting, and this is Meatball the dog as a dog. So there you go. Oh, 25 viewers, guys. I have to go to my stand-up in 7 minutes. But here, if you want to see more, there's a whole channel's worth of 30 videos for you. I am a data science YouTuber and educator here. If you want to talk about mentorships with me, if that's totally possible, set up a 30-minute call on Calendly. I'm going to put a Calendly in the comment section so that everyone can. I'm thirsty. Thirsty from talking all day. Calendly. Set up time with me. And subscribe. La da dee, la da da. Pin this comment. Genji says, did you paint that? Nope. I did not, but a really good friend of mine did. Gio said, I'm planning to shift to the data science field in India, but I really find it hard to land a job there as a fresher. Planning, message retracted. I didn't get to read it yet. Messaging, planning to go for a master's in data science to Ireland. Do you think that's smart? Ireland is so beautiful. Geo George. Ireland is beautiful. Oh, Meatball. Meatball is gone. Ireland is beautiful. I don't know. Education is cheaper in Europe, but Ireland is not in Europe, I think. Yeah, it's part of the UK, right? So my best bet, it's a good idea. Ken says, so Meatball painted it? Very vain of him. It's true. He's a veiny man. Vanity is only skin deep. Ireland is in Europe, yeah. Ireland is not in Europe. Am I crazy? West Ireland is in Europe. Is Ireland in Europe? Ireland is in Europe? Republic of Ireland. Huh? Republic of Ireland is off the coast of England and Wales. Wait, what? Oh my god, I don't know anything. West Ireland is part of the UK. Darn it. And I've literally had that problem before. I was flying the Irish Ryanair, and I totally am wrong. Whoopsie. Ryanair, so cheap. $10 to Ibiza and back. Can you believe it? Before the pandemic? Anyway, honestly. We are almost done with this really, really successful live stream. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. It means a lot that this community is thriving. People are asking questions. I can't say how happy I am to be part of this creator space. So it means a lot that you guys are here. If you guys have any questions that I didn't get to answer, put them down in the comments, and within 1 hour, I will still answer every single one of them. And then after 1 hour, I'm still gonna answer them. You have me at beck and call. So without further ado, let's just go through 3 comments that I liked a lot. We have here AIC, or IC, says, such a fun and informational interview. You have great energy. Thank you for this. That means a lot, AIC. You rock. This was from 10 days ago? 10 days ago, I had 700 subscribers. So the speed at which we grow. Boris says, I imagine Andrew is one of those people who is just... Hold on. I imagine Andrew is one of those people who is just really pleasant to talk to. There is just something about the way he communicates that is so captivating. Love the interview. Boris, please, we got to set up a call, and I got to thank you in person. That means a lot. Geo George, hey, he's in the call right now. Thanks for the great videos as always, Kenji. I love the content. Andrew is such a great guy as well. Please make more project-related videos. I would love that. That's a comment on Ken's video, talking about my life story. If you want to hear my life story, it's a good place to go. Let's go back to the live chat. I bet Geo George is short for Geography George, and he's laughing at you. Oh, man. I get that a lot. Anyway, I love the work you do. Very fun. Ablet says, can you recommend a couple of classification regression projects? Sure. Regress salaries on Glassdoor. Kenji. Classify sentiment and or bias on news websites. George was saying that to me. Thank you. He loves my content. That means a lot. Ken says, working on one more project related videos, one with Andrew actually. We have to grind that project this weekend. 10 Red Bulls. You, me. Project says, big thank you for all the free stuff you're putting out. It's honestly it's way more rewarding to see the response and the reviews that you guys have. So it means a lot. It's time for my stand-up. And there's still so many of you here, so I want to say thank you for joining. I will do this weekly. This was way better than cracking the data science interview in terms of responsiveness, so I'm going to bake them into these Ask Me Anythings, but they're probably going to be similar in this vein because this one's successful, so therefore I have to do what's successful. Hector says, thank you for the live stream, Andrew. Thank you, Hector. I will see you guys very, very soon. I'm coming out with more videos. You're seeing 3 videos a week plus a live stream so far. So I'm hoping to continue with that trend. But, thank you guys for supporting me thus far. As of today, you guys are data leap years. And all I have to say is peace.